I sat one day in a really dark spot and I went for a long bike ride. I need to turn this into a positive or I'm going to become one of the statistics. In the last 5 days in that hospice, the only thing that mattered was not the fancy bags or the fancy watches or the fancy shoes or anything like that. It was the people who were in the room at that given time that mattered in your life. You go into suicidal thoughts, you go into depression, you go into really hard times. It's a cancer of its own because each inside. I want people to know me for what I've done for other people in life, not what I've done for myself. That was a touching one, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Cheers, Adam. You're a prick, but thank you.
I left my house one day to test ride it and I put a helmet on and everything so nobody would see me. And I went, what are you doing, you idiot? You just left your bloody driveway. They know where you live. Paste you off the sausage and you get to chew the sausage at the end. Don't look at me like that. You have the pastry and then you have the sausage
roll like that, George.
Yeah, you do. That's why I like
the sausage psychopath.
Roll. Down in the dirt.
Right, folks, welcome back to Bru Time. This week we are chatting with George Talbot, also known as GG on Two Wheels. How you doing, George?
I'm good, very good. Thank you very much for asking.
Awesome, good man. Now, I see you got a little tipple there. Is that just a brew?
Yes, I got a cup of tea.
Lovely job. Right, I've got a wee beer on the go.
Put that logo on it for me.
What's that? I can't see.
But just faster.
Nice. Well, Slide, cheers to your health. A wee quick toast.
You too. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I think first of all, folks who are listening or watching, we better give just a quick, not warning, but if you don't know George's backstory, if you don't know the story behind GG on Two Wheels, we are going to be talking about losing a loved one to cancer, the grief associated with that, the voyage through it, and hopefully also almost the sort of positivity that comes through that. We've both been heavily affected by cancer and losing a loved one, and we've both hopefully found a way through that. But I think just in case there's anyone that's just come to the podcast and they're having a listen, maybe you have something similar going on in your life at the moment, just so you know what we're going to be chatting about. I hope this will help. Does that sound fair enough, George?
No, it does. I think it's very fair. We can help anybody. Right. That's the biggest reason we're doing it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay. That said, shall we dive in? George, what is the backstory to GG on Two Wheels?
GG on Two Wheels, the backstory to it was Gaynor, my late wife, she caught cancer in 2021. Fought it through years and years of fighting, treatments, different chemos, different operations, and it just became one of those cancers that was incurable. So, and on the sideline, you didn't realize you were the carer for 4, almost 5 years. And then cancer finally took her and she passed away. And then trying to deal with the grief, in losing someone, you're trying to find sort of purpose in life. So my only sensibility to keep myself sensible was riding a motorbike. And I'm a motorbike freak. And then I kept remembering people were going through what I was going through, suffering, loss, how to cope, respite, how do you deal with things, and focus on how can I help people in life to try and give them some guidance through what I went through and try and help them. So I was using my experience of loss to try and help someone else who's going through something that I'm going through. That was the original setup. It's grown from there and it's grown massive from there. But that was the reason I did it. I didn't think we were going to such a big extent. My original ride to Australia was purely to take her ashes across Australia because that's where she wanted to be rested. And I drove all the way across Australia, placed her ashes all over the country. And then I realized I was talking to people about my life, my stories, my ups and downs, depression. Because you go into suicidal thoughts, you go into depression, you go into really hard times. Cancer kills you. It's a cancer of its own because each inside. Yeah. The depression. And I thought, well, either I'll live that story or I change my life and it'll become something positive to help somebody. That was a quick backstory of why I'm doing it.
It's weird, isn't it? Like, everyone finds different ways to deal with this sort of grief and loss. And Like I had, I don't know if you've ever heard of, have you heard of Craig and Gordon, Riding Through Grief?
Yes,
have you heard of those boys?
Yes.
Yeah. And it wasn't till I had them on the podcast and was kind of forced really to deal with my grief in that podcast, because I just hadn't. I don't know, I just bottled it up personally, and I'd throw myself into work in the old bill. And then when I left the old bill, I kind of almost had, I don't know, it's like it all started surfacing again. It was really weird. And a lot of other things started surfacing again. And it
things
was talking
keep coming
to them.
back to you, by the way. Things come back in the past, you keep forgetting, it just appears.
Definitely. And not just, that's it. Not just to do with my mum, about all sorts of stuff, things I dealt with in the old job and stuff from when I was young and loads of stuff. But it was talking to, Gordon and Craig, kind of being forced to face it head on. And it hurt a lot, and there's a lot of tears in that episode. But that literally was like a real sort of refreshing moment for me, where it wasn't lifted, but I went from a stage of not being able, couldn't even talk about my mom without the bottom lip going, and the eyes watering. Now I can talk about my mom freely. And it really made me realize, everyone always says it, talking or sharing really helps. And I'd never really, I'd heard that, but I'd not done it myself. And actually doing it, wow, it did help. So as like sharing what you're going through, although you're there for other people, has that helped you?
It's helped me, one, to go through, and also to deal with guilty that you're trying to move on, guilty or trying to laugh and not feel guilty for laughing.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it until you just said that. See them into old memory lanes are coming back to me lately. They just enter in your head and they're like flushing through you, and it pulls you into a deep area, and you're like, oh, where did that come from? And that's depression. It catches you. But I believe this helps people talking it. I think talking helps everybody. Yeah, no doubt.
So the bike side of things, were you a biker through your relationship with Gaynor then?
Yeah, I was a biker back in Africa, and then I stopped riding for a long time. And then Gaynor's brother, Scott, his wife, he lost his partner to cancer. And Scott wanted to go biking again. And again, I went, right, because he wouldn't let me ride a bike. And she went, right, you can get a bike, on you go. So I got back into it. So I'm like, woo! And so Scott and I went riding a lot. And so about 10 years I'm back in biking. But I'm a biker through and through. I've been a biker my whole life. I love bikes. It's an incredible experience you can have. Freedom here. Smell it, feel it, everything.
Yeah.
Biking is incredible.
This the idea to ride across Australia with some of Gaynor's ashes there. Like how did that manifest itself to you? You said like Gaynor had always wanted to go.
Yeah. Gaynor and I spoke about it then. She wanted, I says, where do you want to put your ashes? We discussed in places to put our ashes, and one was in South Africa, some was in Iona, there was some up north, and then Australia. And there was a trip we'd never done, where it's right through from Sydney all the way to Perth. And that was all we discussed. She'd like to have her ashes, some of her ashes to be sat there. And then when she passed away, I thought, I'm going to take her. We spoke of 11 different places that she could possibly take her ashes. And I thought, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take them to all the places. And I thought, I'll take her on the bike she rode last on. So I sent my own bike over. I did the trip. And I sent it on 22 days because she was, ironically, we were 22 years together. 22 years she was alive in the hospice. And I thought, I'll do it in 22 days, the final trip. So I set everything based on 22 days. So I rode east to west, 22 days, and I spread her ashes. And it was to try and give me some rehabilitation. People understand my emotions as I'm going through them, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely, yeah.
There's a lot of planning.
You said something there that kind of struck me when you said you discussed with Gaynor where she wanted her ashes, and it's that hits home with me because I carried a lot of guilt personally. Like I think I refused, even though my mum was in the hospice, and weird at the time. At the time, I didn't. At the time, I just didn't. I didn't accept. I didn't believe that the hospice was the last stage. You know, to me, it was like, she's going to go in the hospice, she'll come out and she'll feel better. Because she'd always got, you know, my mum fought cancer for nearly 10 years and, you know, she'd had the all clear and sadly it'd come back. And I know that's not good in that. But, you know, it's like I had all these, and she lived with me for like her last year. I had all these opportunities to chat about, you know, the real things in life. And we did chat about a lot. Yeah, we did chat about a lot of stuff, but not, you know, maybe if I'd accepted what was coming, I might have talked about a few other things. You know, there's a lot of stuff I think I left unsaid, really. And, you know, I do think to myself, you missed an opportunity there to say how you feel and get all that stuff out.
So many of you think that way. There's so many things you think you've missed.
So, are you enjoying the podcast? If you are, please let everyone you know about it. Sharing at the moment is the biggest trigger for the algorithm. Obviously, you need to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But if you can just tell one mate about the podcast, share it across to them, that helps tenfold. I love doing the podcast. I'm really trying to grow it this year, and you can help me out by doing that. So I'll love you forever if you do. Whilst I'm on the topic of support, folks, the only reason I can do the podcast and the YouTube channel and everything like that full time is because of my Patreon. In the clan itself, we do meetups, we do live streams. You'll get early access to the vids. You get first choice on the questions on this podcast. And you'll also get exclusive early access to my chicken strips tours when they're released. If you want to check it out, head to patreon.com/TeapotOne. And if there's anything there that takes your fancy, feel free to support me over on there.
We spoke about hospices, you know, and I know you're doing a lot of the fundraising for, is it Strathcarron, is that right?
But, the first year I did nothing for Strathcarron, nothing but for Strathcarron to raise for them. 75 or 77,000 raised for them.
That's incredible, mate. Well done. Wow.
What they did was, the nurses, they were incredible people. Because they've got their own problems.
Angels.
And they come to work with their own problems. They hang the problem on a wall. They deal with you and they go to every room, and every room's got a different problem. And their own problems, their own depression, their own sadness. And then they put that problem back on their own issues and go back home. I think they're the most incredible people on this planet.
Yeah. Angels, mate. Every single one of them.
They're angels. They are. They're an angel. They're incredible.
Yeah. So how has Gigi on two wheels, how has that developed then since that Australia ride?
Well, when I was in Australia, because you had a lot of time to think. I thought, well, right, I'm doing this now. I'm doing the Ashes, but we can do a lot more. People die daily with cancer. People are dying. People going through treatment. People going through stress. People going through worry, and people are dying. And my focus was, how can I help those that are left behind? The mothers, the fathers, the children, and those that are going through physical treatment. So I had 22 days to do a lot of thinking. I thought, well, we're going to make this, let's change the thought path. Let's make this something that can really work for people. So we came back and we completely established, we made a registered company. So it's now fully licensed charity. So the money that we raise goes purely to, no longer for Strathcarron. We help them out, but we help everybody who needs it. We've set up accounts with taxi companies, with plumbing companies. So if your boiler breaks, you've not got enough money and you've lost it, we'll go fix it for you. We'll just go pay for it and get it dealt with. If you need to go for treatment to Gartnavel Hospital, we'll just send the taxis. So we'll pay for the running costs. So sometimes it's £240 a week on average. We'll just pay the running costs. So you don't have to worry about how you're going to get there, how you're going to get back. We'll pay for the running costs. And that's what we're trying to do. Small things like that, and we're trying to now build ourselves as baby steps. So we want to help the difference. If you don't have enough food or something small, we'll help you with that part. And that's what we're trying to do now, help all those that need the help. So we're
George, that's incredible.
So we physically do that. We've got the account system set. We've just finished with Maggie Centre, who are going to work with us and help us get referrals to us, and we can help those people. So we had a meeting with them a week and a half ago. They're now going to help us within the Forth Valley. We're working on, and they're now going to give us, because they have over 11,000 people. 11,000 people. And in the Forth Valley, over 11,000 people they deal with.
Wow.
Just in the Forth Valley. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to help people who can't afford something, who You're trying to go for treatment and spend £240 or £200 a week going through for a month of treatment. That is brutal. So we'll pay for that for you. We'll take that pressure off you. So the money we get in goes purely to these people, and that's what we work on. So we set up loads of little functions, from charity balls to bike shows to different charity events, purely to raise money and just keep giving it back. And that's what we do.
Right, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
The team's done it for me. I've got a good team behind me that work with me in doing what we do for GG.
And how do people donate? How do people
if you go onto the webpage, we've got actually the minute you click on www.ggonTwoWheels.com. If you go on, you've got donate buttons, or it'll come up straight away if you want to donate. So you donate £2, £5, £10, whatever it is, every penny goes to a good cause. We'll now be able to start telling people soon where it's gone, who we've helped, who we're trying to help, and that's what I'm trying to do with it now. So we're trying to help as many people as we can. There's nobody else does this. There's not another charity that does it through biking events. It started off a guy riding to find a way to go through depression, because that's what it was. I was going through a really dark hole, and I've turned it to a positive, and now we're doing something to help people. But people watch my depression and my sadness and my good times as I go through this, because I still go through really bad times. I really go through hard times at times. So this is how it works. But you donate, you go to the webpage, you donate, and we work it towards everybody. I just did Europe, and we've raised just short of 10,000 on the last trip I did around Europe.
That was the one to Barcelona, is that right?
The one to Barcelona. I went there, Barcelona, Monaco, Lake Como, the Alps, back into Germany, and then back up to Scotland again. And we raised just shy of £10,000.
Nice one.
And the thing is, none of the money that we raise goes to my trip. I pay for the trip. Every penny we get goes to the actual people. Overheads and everything, we fund it. It's not funded by the money we raise. Everything's raised, physically goes back to the people. People.
Folks, I'll leave the links down below. So if you're watching the YouTube vid, have a look at the description.
Right.
If you're listening to this on any of the audio platforms, have a look at show notes. There'll be a link there to George's website and obviously all the socials.
We've got the same with Bike Legends.
Oh yeah,
we've set up a short bike called Bike Legends, which is on the 31st of October, 1st of November in Glasgow, down at the Engine Works, and we're going to have over 100 motorbikes on show, and all the money we raise there, after the overhead, we're going to then just give it all to GG and Two Wheels for the charity to give towards. So we're going to have over 100 bikes, families, kids, everybody's going to turn up there, and then all that money goes to the charity as well.
So when's that? Have you got dates?
That's on it's on. We'll give you the link for that as well. It's on 31st of October, 1st of November, and there's a separate webpage, Bike Legends.
Okay,
so
I'll put all the links to that down below.
Steelworks set up with me, Muddy Beach Customs, and myself. We've set it up, so we've done it as three of us as a team to get this done. I said three there, three. Three of us. I know. No good.
No, that's just tea in there.
I'm pretty sure it's tea. I hope so.
So where do you envisage, or where do you want this to go?
I want GG and Two Wheels to spend the rest of our time focusing where we can assist people, because that's what we can do at this point. Assist people in dealing with the process after death of their families, where they need support. And if it's not just that, it's counselling. So we'll give them contacts to go to in places and help them through the process when they need for treatment. So if we can make the treatment a bit less pressure on them, then I think we've done our job to help them. That's all we can do at this point. I'd like to ultimately have a respite for somebody, so they've got a place for respite, but that's a long plan ahead, but we're planning for that. But right now, if we can just take pressure off people, whether it's a taxi ride or buying food for the house or buying something that's broken, a wash machine, whatever it is, that can take a bit of pressure off. Or giving them advice who to go to speak to. That's what we're going to do. Nobody else does it. All charities have stopped doing it. And the hard part is not taking from the money that's raised from other companies, because you don't want to take the money off Strathcarron. You don't want to take the money off Maggie. So we're trying to do events that doesn't affect those charities. And that's why we're trying to do events different through the biking community. so people can see different events. So we're trying to tap somewhere it doesn't affect the money that is already going out. All we're doing is stealing from period of people, and we don't want to do that.
No, absolutely. Quick one before we crack on, folks. These aren't sponsors of the podcast, but I do have some discount codes for you. First up, Kalimoto. Now, if you've used Kalimoto in the past, maybe you didn't like it, you didn't get on with it, I urge you to try it again. They've been making loads of advances, particularly this year. Now they've got Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay functionality in there. They've just launched a new function, which is called Group Rides. We use it on the Chicken Strips tours all the time. You invite people into your rides and then their profile icon shows up on the actual map itself. Just allows you to see where everybody is in the ride. Particularly useful if people get a wee bit lost, or maybe somebody stops for fuel, or they're a bit late. You know, when you set off, you always get faffery, don't you? It's a cracking little function that's on there. There's loads more developments to come. Kali now uses the TomTom mapping structure itself. TomTom probably has some of the best maps out there, the most up-to-date in terms of road layouts and everything like that. Doesn't integrate with live traffic data, sadly. I'm not sure if that's something they're going to look at in the future, but Kali is becoming a real all-round package. So easy to plot routes on there, whether you use the AI functionality or you just do it yourself on your phone or on a computer, and it will seamlessly link to the app on your phone. Urge you to check it out. If you use the code TeapotOne, you'll get 10% off your annual premium subscription. Or if you just fancy trying it out, use Teapot30 and you'll get 30 days free trial. Cracking bit of kit. You need any help with it, drop me a line. Okay, folks, got some more codes for you. Again, these aren't sponsors of the podcast, but they are affiliate codes to me. So if you use them, it does help me out. Roadskin. I'm using loads of Roadskin products just now. No obligations from them. They've just given me the kit and said, try it, see what you think, give us their feedback. I use their winter double-lined Paranoid jeans. I use them all year round. They're quite a baggy fit for biker jeans, and if you're a bit of a bloater like me, or you've got prop thighs and calves in particular, then I find their sort of looser fit loads more comfortable on the bike. They have like a summer version. I think they're called the Tyrannus ones. Check them out anyway. I've just started wearing their, is it the Dakota jacket? It's a black jacket, looks really good. It's actually quite slimming, believe it or not, and as a almost 21 stone bloater, I'll take any help I can get. I've been wearing it all summer in all my tours. Been wearing it in almost 40 degree heat on the last one in the south of France. It's brilliant. It's a really good jacket. It's fully armoured. You've got protection in the shoulders, the elbows, even got a back protector in there. You can wash it in the washing machine. Great bits of kit, folk. Check them out at roadskin.co.uk, and if you use the code TP1, you'll get 10% off everything they do, and I get a little cutback of that sale, so you'll be helping me out. Check them out. I'd like to chat more about you, if we can. I've listened to podcasts that you've been on, and understandably there's a big focus on Gaynor, and there's a big focus on cancer and the voyage that you went through. That's hard. That's hard to bring up and talk about all the time and time again. I'd like to find out a bit about you. You know, you said about South Africa. Are you from South Africa originally then?
Yes, I left when I was 3. This country,
okay.
1974. I was between 3 and 4. Went to South Africa. My dad went on the £10 ticket back in the day in the mining industry. So I grew up in South Africa as a child, and then I came back here in '96. So,
wow!
But I loved South Africa. It was the most. I lived in the Transvaal. It used to be called the Northern Transvaal. It's Gauteng now. So I lived near the game reserve. So where all the wild animals lived in that. That's where I lived. So
wow.
Yeah. My dad on a Friday night would take me and my 2 friends. We drop us off in a pickup down the motorway. We'd take water, fishing line, and we'd go over, catch our fish, sleep on the rocks, cook our meal, and come back on a Sunday and go home. That was the life I had. That was life. Yeah. Wow. We never had tellies. We had no tellies.
Sounds just like Falkirk, you know?
Well, now that you say that, yeah. No, South is a stunning place. It's a stunning place.
I'll bet. Can you see yourself going back there at some point?
Yeah, I'm back there I'm going back there in October. My brother's son's wife just gave birth to a child, Leonie. So I'm going to go see her. Can't wait to go see her. She's a beautiful little baby. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Nice, awesome.
So yes, I'm going to go visit.
When did bikes come into life then?
Bikes, I started when I was young. So 2-second history part. My dad, I was about 11 or 12. I asked my dad for pocket money, and my dad went, "Nah, come on." He threw me in the car and he drove me up to a scrapyard. And he went in and went, "Pick any you want, son." So I picked the Beetle. So we towed it home and he went, "I'll pay for the car getting fixed." He says, "And you sell it. That's your pocket money. The profit's your pocket money. You give your money back, never ask for pocket money." So I started building cars. And I started selling between 11 and 12, start selling cars. Doing them up and selling them. My dad says,
Really?
you earn your money. Yeah, you earn your money. You don't get pocket money. And then from there, I started to transform into bikes. And then once you got hooked up, once you rode a bike, you were hooked to them. A bike is the greatest freedom. You can't describe it. The freedom you have on a motorbike. There's nothing around you. And I was very hooked on them. And then when I came to this country, you came off it, you got caught up in life and work. And then eventually, about Scott's partner passing away, this helped Scott go through his grievance, and I got to go back on my bike. So I do massive bike riding. I ride all over the place. I ride most of the time. I'm a massive biker. I'm a BMW fanatic. I know everybody agrees me on that one, but I like a boxer
Best bike in the world, George.
Thank you very much. Hallelujah. The best bike you'll ever get. So I'm a BMW fanatic. All my bikes are BMWs. I'll never drive another bike. But my first bike was a Kawasaki Z650, just so you know that.
What's the one in the background there behind you?
Oh, that is a 1939 BMW R35. That was found in Warsaw. We found it as a destroyed bike, and we've tried to give it some detail and feature back on it. So it's a beautiful bike. Suicide shift on it, so it's a beautiful bike.
Is it a runner? Does it go?
That's a full running bike. Steelworks had that running, and then what he'd done is he drained it down for me, and then it just sits there. He's done all the bikes in the house here. He keeps them just sat there, drained down.
All the bikes in the house.
Yeah,
how many have you got, George? Come on.
Three in the house. Yeah. Well, I can do it now, so I thought I'm going to make some positive change.
Living the dream, brother. Living the dream.
Yeah, that's it. I'm living it now. So we're trying to move forward in life. That's the hard part.
This is it. My plan, I'll mention it, sorry to those that don't like it. When I finished the world trip, when I got back, the idea was to incorporate the jigsaw into the house. You know, when my wife and I got married, we were going to do up where the kitchen was and stuff. So the plan had always been, she wasn't happy with the bike coming in and like being in the living room or somewhere like that. Yeah. But she said you could build it into the kitchen if you want, you know, like make it a feature in the kitchen. And I was like, that's a bloody good idea. I'm liking that. But I wanted to be able to take the bike out, you know, if I went to shows and events and stuff, I wanted to be able to take the bike out and take it with me. So when the builder arrived, he's family. When the builder arrived and we were just sort of chatting through the practicalities of it, he was like, "Mate, if we do this, and then by the time you put a worktop on the top," he said, "you might be all right," because I'm like 6'3", 6'4", or 6'3". He said, "But Nikki, my wife's like 5'5". She's like, she's going to be cutting the edge like this.
The table.
Yeah. So the bike ended up out in the garage, but I did get a new garage out of it. So you know, never mind.
Oh, that's
one
thing
at least.
No, I just like them in the house because it makes the bikes are just part of you. So, and if I get down, I just go sit and look at them, and just look at them, appreciate the memories, where you've been with it, what you've done with the bike,
of course,
the detailing of the bike. Bikes are a big part of my life, massive part of my life.
Do you still have your Australia GS?
Yeah, she came back. I then drove that to Europe. I did Europe.
Well, that went to Barcelona, did it?
Right. That went to Barcelona, and then that bike's going to go to Africa. That's doing the African trip as well.
Nice.
So,
awesome.
and when that comes back, I don't think I'll be running after that. I'll have done a lot of damage at that point, but yeah, so that's doing the African trip.
Only me. Right, another code for you. This time, Innov. Now, I've been using Innov stuff for years. I think it was 2018. I used their first dash cam when it came out. They approached me to be a sponsor when I first went full-time back in 2020, and I've been using their kit ever since. They're not a sponsor or anything like that anymore. They occasionally send me through their kit, I've now got the N2 smart riding systems, like a CarPlay or Android Auto type screen and dash cam integrated system. I've used loads of their dash cam systems. I think the most recent one is the K7. Brilliant bit of kit. I had that before I started using the N1 and the N2. Really well made, folks. They've got big ideas about where they want to be going. Check them out at innovv.com. And if you use the code TeapotOne, you'll get up to 10% off. Again, I get a little slice of that, so you'll be helping me out, folks. Another one for you, Cardo. I've been using Cardo for probably almost a decade now. Use it all the time on the tours. There's 15 of us away. We'll invariably have everyone on Cardo now. Definitely worth spending the money and getting the mesh systems. So get the Pack Talk Edge, which is their flagship system. Cracking sound, cracking connectivity, really easy to set up a chat group via the app. And again, if you head to their website, cardosystems.com, and you use the code TeapotOne, you'll get up to 25% off. Again, I get a little slice, so you're helping me out. Okay, back to the chat.
So come on then, let's go through the African trip. What's involved in that?
The African trip is the 16 countries the west transatlantic way. So it's down Morocco, all the way down through Ghana, Southwest Sahara, Angola, Namibia, all out down, and then into South Africa, then down into Cape Town, and then back up to Garunga. And then I'm going to finish at the game reserve in Garunga. And that's where I'm going to finish out. Take the bike into the reserve.
How are you getting by, like Congo, DRC?
Going to go through them. I'm going to go to the Congo and the DRC Congo. You've got the Dominican, you've got the Congo Republic and the DRC. I'm going to go through both.
Are they letting you in the DRC? Because I know they stopped for a little while.
You have to sign waivers, so if you get borrowed, should I say, and then I'm just going to get a light saying more subscribers, they'll let me go. And you have to sign to go. So you've got to go through both of me, otherwise you can't get down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I think people were having to ship once they got to Congo. I think for a while people were having to ship across to the east and then come down the east. But I think the east has got a little bit
because of all the drama on the east. You can't. So there's a lot. This has only been done with this group that I'm going with. This has only been done 9 times in 30 years. This is the 10th time it's ever been done.
Yeah.
Because you're going to places that not many people get their bikes into, or to get to even go into.
Yeah.
So, but again, if a war breaks out, it changes. You have to just change the route.
Africa is such a volatile continent. You know, all the different countries that are in there. Things can be absolutely fine at breakfast, and by lunch there's a civil war going on. You know, it's crazy, and then it's fine again by dinner time. You know, it's
so. But that's the next one to do it. And I think with that one we can do a lot of PR to raise money.
Why?
And if we can raise a lot of money in that, we can help more people. And that's the whole purpose. I do it to rebuild my life. Because I need to reset my life. I'm still a young guy. I need to try and reset my life, try and refocus my life, but also raise money in the process. Because GG will never stop. GG is there to help people in life. So the African trip is a big growth because Australia was done for Gaynor to take the Ashes. I went to Barcelona to do my round trip. This is now me trying to move on and take people with me on the journey from the death, the transition, and now the growth. To understand people, you can. There is a way to get through this. There is a way to try and get to the other side. It's not easy, but there is a way to do it. If they can watch me doing it, and if I have bad days, I have bad days. I show them every day. I show them every day, whether good, bad, or indifferent. So, but I'm live podcasting this anyhow.
Are you as you go?
Yeah, live podcasting the whole thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. Mate, please feel free to tag me in anything, and I'll share that.
Thank you so much.
As much as I can. That's incredible. Africa beat me. West Africa beat me on my trip, and it's niggled away at me ever since. You know,
what happened?
I got to Dakar, and I had quite a bad time going through Mauritania. The Boko Haram lot, you know, the Islamic fundamentalists. It was round about, this was 2012. So they'd not long kidnapped the girls in Nigeria, the schoolgirls in Nigeria.
Right.
And then
was that when that happened?
They just exploded out of Central Africa at that point. And they'd sacked Mali, Timbuktu in Mali. Then they were coming across sort of eastern Mauritania as I was going down the west. And the Mauritanian government just sort of flooded the two main, there's only two sort of tarmac roads in Mauritania.
Aye, that's it.
And they flooded those roads with old bill and military. So there's just checkpoints everywhere. And obviously I'm a Western white geezer in white leathers on a GSX-R 1000 with loads of logos over it. I rang the dinner bell. So I just got robbed. I just got robbed at gunpoint dozens of times a day.
That's what they do.
Yeah. And then I got taken, I tried to go through Rosso into Senegal. And,
okay.
Yeah, but on the Mauritanian side, I got taken by a gang that were working with the police and held for a bit. And yeah, once I got through, I kind of thought, fuck this, we're a game of soldiers, basically. And I got to Dakar and just thought, I've been relieved of a lot of money.
But the fact you made it to the cars is a massive one, because that's a big stunt down. Well, I'm going with a company called Overcross, because they've done this.
Yeah.
So they're going to do the main route system. So Overcross is going to do the main run through Africa to South Africa. And then I'm back in my territory. What you're going to do is get hijacked or bloody shot there. That you can deal with South Africa. That's the easier bit. It's that bit that's the hard
mindset.
bit.
It's mindset, which you're more than aware of. Absolutely. So, and I was young and naive, and I let my mind win on that section of it. I'm really annoyed at myself for giving up, because I'd met an older chap who was heading back down to South Africa on a big Ural.
On the same trip?
On the same trip. We met literally just as we were leaving Western Sahara and going into Mauritania, and we just decided to buddy up together. And when we got to Dakar and I made the decision that I'm turning around, I'm going to head back, he was like, well, I've got no option. I've got to keep going. He divorced from his wife in Scotland, and he was returning to Cape Town. He was South African originally.
Back, right? Okay. Wow.
Aye. So he was like, I think Robert was in his early 60s.
Right.
So he was heading back to Cape Town. So he was like, well, I've got no other option. I'm just going to keep going. And if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I will. That was his attitude. And he got to DRC. He literally got to the DRC. And then they wouldn't let him leave, because they said it's too dangerous if you go any further from here. We're not letting you cross this border. So he ended up having to ship his bike from Congo. He had to go back into Congo and then ship the bike down to South Africa. But that was 2012, Wow. Times have changed for sure. Yeah.
But that's amazing though. But now, wait, did you drive all the way back, or did you get the bike shipped back from there?
Yeah, I chucked the bike on the plane and flew back.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the same as I thought when you went. I'm just turned back. Tell me you didn't go back to the same sections.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have stopped. I would have just put my head down and gone for it.
You had no way of going up. What? Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing run.
But it's, Africa is so different to everywhere else I've been in the world.
But it's breathtaking. It is breathtaking.
And it's it's so different. The cultures are so different. The sights, the smells, the experience.
Between countries.
Oh yeah, totally different. The people
try to tell somebody in the West Sahara you can only go on 2 roads because the rest are landmine. They'll look at you as if to go, what? That's it. That's where you can go on them. There's only 2 roads. The rest you don't go near.
Well, here's some advice. When you cross into Mauritania, I don't know if it's still the same as it was, but once you do the police and the customs port, that bit as they slide the gate open as you're coming from Western Sahara down into Mauritania, once you've done that, there'll be a load of like fixers standing there going, I'll take you to the next place. I'll take you to the next place. And there's like a path that just disappears in the sand over this sand dune. And I was like, I don't need anyone's help. I'm fine. So I just went off on my bike into the desert. And as you went over the sand dune, it splits in 2. And in the distance, you can just see like a big radio antenna. And I was like, oh, okay. I ended up in a minefield. So
did you?
Yeah, take the help. I don't know if it was mined, but all these locals were like screaming at me going, Minez, mines.
That's
so
why I'm going
help,
to crossover.
pay the money.
They do this. This is their profession.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you want somebody that knows the land, can talk the languages, speak to people. Yeah. That's why I'm using. And they're carrying all the fuel, because there's 9 people riding on this trip with me on that section. and then I'm going to break off and then take the rest of the trip to them.
Oh, nice. So
I think it'll be a good story. Aye.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm too old to do the kamikaze style. I can't do how they do it. I'm not that fit anymore.
Mate, that's a sensible option. Believe you me, that is a sensible option. Yeah, for sure. And when you meet all these other people, anyone that goes on a trip like that, everyone has their own like origin story. Everyone there has a reason why they're taking on a challenge like that. And it's interesting to talk to people, isn't it? And just see what's driving you.
But most bikers have gone through something that's put them on a bike. Most bikers have gone through something that's triggered them onto a motorbike that's put them in that path they're on. A biker is the most incredible, for rebuilding your life, a biker is the most incredible group of people you'll ever get. Whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, or just the cleaner, you're treated the exact same when you get on a bike.
Yeah.
They know you've got a story. Yeah. You know something's driven you. And that's probably why I'm looking for this trip, because I went for grievance at Maggie Centre. And there was a lady there who her husband had passed away. They could possibly have treated his cancer. Because of his blood type, they couldn't treat him. So he had to die because they couldn't treat him. To that extent. And then you look at your life and you're going, do you know, we thought we could. He couldn't. How hard is that to know that you have no control over your life in that bit? And I admire people that have gone through that.
It's humbling, isn't it?
It is. We all have our own hard pressure, but these people go through. I realise when you go for counselling, we're all messed up. We all have the same problem. We just don't know how to deal with it. And nobody knows the answer. That's why we're there. So my one's just to ride out. If I get depressed, I get on the bike and I just ride. Yeah. You can't think. You need to focus. And that switches the whole brain off. And you just take the air in, you take the freshness in, you feel the wind blowing on you, the motion of the bike, and your whole life just starts to change again. And that allows me to just reset my life, reset my mind.
So something you said earlier about the guilt, the guilt of finding yourself having a good time, the guilt of starting to think, right, I need to move on. I have a future. Yeah. There's definite guilt associated with that, isn't there? It's hard. I only know it from losing my mum. You've lost a loved one, and that is like your missus. That is a whole different level. But I imagine there's similarities there in that, that guilt is there for you, isn't it? Whoever's gone through loss.
I remember when I was in Europe, I had to sit down in a chapel one day and I just sat, I spent about an hour just talking to her. I said, listen, Gaynor, I love you to bits, but I need to move. I can't keep in this loop. It's just, you're in a circle and the circle gets deeper. The longer you spin in it, you just keep deeper and deeper and deeper. And that is, I need to move on. I can't live alone for the rest of my life because it's depression. Silence is a killer. Silence is a cancer. It eats you alive. I need to move forward in life. I need to do something. It's hard smiling and laughing and then knowing that you're not there. So I had to explain to her the situation, though she wasn't there. But in my mind, I was talking to her to try and say, I need to do this now. It's such a hard thing to do.
Are you a man of faith then? Are you a religious man or have
I was
faith
almost
in
a
anything?
minister a long time ago, and I
Really?
stepped back. Yeah, long time ago in Africa, I was pushed to become a minister. So I'm very religious. I'm very set my ways with them. So I'm a Pentecostal. Happy clappy. The ones that dance and clap their hands, that was me.
Yeah.
Cheery, because life is supposed to be cheery. So yeah, and I stepped back. But I used to deal with kids and homeless and people struggling with families got rid of their kids that didn't want them because they had something wrong with them. So my life in Africa was dealing with those people as well. So we did that through the church.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm very religious to that point.
I have never have been growing up. I was very much a black and white, just common sense. Just don't be daft. We're cells. We're biological. It's physics. It's maths.
Yeah.
That's it. As I've got older in life and you experience loss, you experience just the multitude of things that happen to you in life and you witness happen to other people in life. How some people survive atrocious incidences and other people trip and bang their head and are gone, and experiencing death and seeing the difference between a living body and deceased. There's marked differences there. It's hard to put into words, but to me, the person goes, don't they? When they pass, they go. There's just like a vessel left. And that really has made me start questioning and thinking, is there more to this? Like, is there more here in life? Because it's hard
when you're trying not to be religious with people, because I would use the Trinity. I hear you, I see you, and I can feel you, which is your spirit. And I understand the body goes. I do believe that when you pass, you leave. But your spirit can't just disappear. You who I speak to now, you can't just fade away. You have to go somewhere in life. You have to go somewhere. So, it's one of the hardest things to. And people always say that she'll be with you when you're here, and I always say no, she's not. Because if she's here, then she's in depression with me. That's not fair. She's wherever she is, she's happy. I need to move forward now. You know what I mean? It's there'd be a lot of depressed people who have passed away that know that I believe they've gone somewhere which they need to be happier. They've gone through a hard time. And that, so I believe you. You can't just disappear. You can't just do that. It's a hard one. It's a hard topic on its own, especially when there's death involved.
It is, and it's one that can't be proven, can it? You can't. You can't
so
prove it, can you?
At this point.
Exactly, but I do think whether it's real or not, I just think if someone has faith and that helps them deal with whatever it is that they're going through, whether they believe in Christ, whether they believe in, Allah, Buddha, whatever it is, pink unicorns, I don't care. If someone has faith in whatever it is and that helps them passage through whatever they're going through, deal with life, brilliant. Who are we to say you're wrong? It's just
100%.
You know what I mean?
Whatever your belief is, as long as you believe there's something there for them at the end of this, then that, to me, you've stood with them. And I'll stand with them, whatever they believe in it. And to me, if that's their just for when they pass, then I'm there for them on that one. It's
absolutely.
You do everything in faith. Whether you put your thumb out on the side of the road, it's faith somebody's going to pick you up. So you live on faith your whole life. You become a good person because you're going to be treated good. You do that in faith. So faith is a fundamental of life in general.
And I think that, well, I know that's what attracts me to travel, overland travel in particular. And I imagine even this brief chat with you so far, I kind of think that maybe is probably an attraction to you. When you do travel on a bike in particular, you are posing a lot of faith on strangers, on people you don't know, people you've not even met yet, in countries you've never been to, who speak languages and have cultures that you are not familiar with. You're putting a lot of faith in them. It is. Because people are people wherever you go around the world. I've said this umpteen times on this podcast, but it's true. People
and
are
not
people
everybody's bad.
I
don't care what the world say. There's so many amazing people out there.
Yeah, there's a tiny percentage that are
see
wrong.
That journey to get on that bike and to meet a different culture, to meet a different person. And sometimes, like you said earlier, they tell you their story. You realise that they've gone through something, and you tend to connect in a different. I speak to people different who's lost people, because you seem to connect better than what you are with somebody who's not lost someone. So I agree with you. I think culture is an amazing thing. And if all I do can help somebody to go, there's a chance in life or an opportunity in life to get through what they're going through, then I'm happy to do that with people on this journey. But I'll never stop riding. Riding is what keeps me alive today.
Same.
I'm a biker through and through. A tall biker, but I'm a biker never the same. I'm not as tall as you. I'm only 6'2.5".
Well, I'm probably bunging an inch on there. I'm about 6'3" if I stand up straight, so we're probably the same.
Tuck my belly in.
That's it. Oh Christ, yeah, geez.
Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
Yeah, no. Last one, folks, I promise. Okay, Ultimate Add-ons used to be a sponsor of the podcast. To be honest, they've been with me for years. I just felt a bit awkward about asking them again, so I haven't. However, I still have the affiliate deal going on with them. Ultimate Add-ons provide rugged, vibration, dirt, weather protective cases for your mobile phones, as well as action camera mounts. I use it all the time, particularly when I'm going away and doing like a demo ride on a different bike or a review on a different bike. Makes it really easy. There's pretty much no bikes out there that I cannot, in some shape or form, connect
the phone holder to the bike. And then most bikes these days have some sort of power outlet, and I can run a power source into my phone via the weatherproof port in the case, and that allows me to use it for my navigation as we're going along. If you head to ultimateaddons.co.uk and use the code TeapotOne10, the number 10, you'll get 10% off. Again, I get a little slice, so you're helping me out. And lastly, do you like washing your bike? Are you a freak like that? Well, if you've watched the videos over on the TeapotOne channel, you'll see that I've had my bike ceramic coated by my mate Pete over at Super Shield Automotive. Now, Pete's proper on the spectrum. He's really OCD, but he does a fantastic job in detailing your bike, getting it better than showroom condition. And if you head over to his website at supershieldauto.co.uk, you can not only book your own bike in for a ceramic coating and detailing treatment, but you can buy the exact products he uses, as well as a whole host of other discounts on a load of mainstream products, like, let me run through these, Akropovich products, Chiggy, DNA air filters, Easy Grips, R&G kit, Hex kit, you know, the Hex Easy Cans or the GS911, Evotech crash protection, Cardo as well, performance parts where you get a whole load of other stuff. He even does Insta360 cameras. It's growing. It really is. And he gets really good deals on there. Head over to his website. If you mention TeapotOne, you'll get, I think, a 10% discount on your ceramic coating treatments. I don't make anything from this, folks. Pete's a mate. He helps me out. I'm just returning the favour because he's a top bloke and he provides a first-class service. If you're spending your money, go to him. Okay, let's get back to me talking guff.
Right, how about we move on to questions? Because funnily enough, we've got a few questions to get through.
Oh, right, okay.
I always pose the first question now, and that is the same to every single guest. And that is, I describe Bru Time as a relaxed conversation podcast exploring what it really means to live your life through honest conversations with people who choose more. When you hear that, what does choosing more mean to you?
Opportunity. I think the opportunity to realise when I listen to your story, what you went through in Africa, you're realising that, you know, what I was worried about is nothing compared to what you've gone. So we can do it. So you gave me an opportunity to go, you've done that path, you've walked out it. You've given me a thought, you've given me genuine love. I was so intrigued with what you did there. So, yeah, opportunity, I think. That's mine.
I like it. I've not heard anyone put it that way. Opportunity.
That's what it is. You talk for something because you're asking because we're talking about something in life that's going to change us. So there's an opportunity in this one. Mine is, you've just done something. For me, if it was just the African talk, that was then you've done it. For all the rest is put aside, it was just that one conversation, then yeah, I'm happy. I've got something out of
that. Yeah. Awesome. I like that one. Cool. Right. We'll start with the clan over on Patreon as always. So that's patreon.com/TeapotOne. First one, Gordon Bissell. That's Gordon from Riding Through Grief. Hi, Bruce. And hi, George. Obviously, echoes of Craig, Sarah, Ruth, and myself here with Riding Through Grief. I never did anything as heroic as George's trip and his charity work. Before asking a question, I'd like to say that you just can't overstate the work done by the hospices, which are only part government funded. When you think of the government money wasted on all sorts of undeserving crap, you've got to wonder why. Amen to that, Paul. I don't know George, so I'm wondering where he got the inspiration to take off on such a powerful journey. So many men become paralysed and almost comatose by the loss of their other half. Where did the idea come from to go all the way across Australia?
I sat one day in a really dark spot and two of my friends came round, Sarah and Lorraine saw me, gripped me out of it, and then we sat and spoke, left me overnight, and I went for a long bike ride. And I thought, I need to turn this into a positive or I'm going to become one of the statistics. That's what I'll become. And I thought, let me do this second. Let me take a death and try and turn it into something positive. And that was all it is. I'm a very driven man. So that's why I did it. That's the only reason I did it. So if I didn't do this, I'd have been down a hole and we probably wouldn't be talking today. because you don't know where life takes you. So, yeah, trust me, 2 days into that trip in Australia, I looked at myself and went, "What the hell have you done? What have you done here?" And I thought, well, when she had the cancer, she couldn't every night when she was in the hospice go, "I don't feel like it today. I'm just going to switch it off. I'll be fine tomorrow." So I went, I need to persevere. And that was persevered. But yeah, I was terrified. I some nights I was in tears with the money. I was so terrified what I was doing. But it drove me to get through this. And it kept me in a sane place. So there is no way of answering doing it. You don't need to do the big trip with me. People do different things.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't all be the same as everybody. And that's the difference.
Mm-hmm. I remember for me, it was, but long before my mom ended up in a hospice, but she was ill. And looking back, I should have been aware of what was happening. But I was 31, 32 years of age, I was working, just enjoying my life. My mom had got through cancer before, so I just assumed she was going to get through this again. But I remember a day off, I was just sat on my couch chatting with my mom, and Long Way Round came on the telly, Ewan McGregor, Charlie Borman.
Oh,
and
my
mom had bought me the box set out of the blue for Christmas way back in 2004. I didn't even ride a bike then, but she just bought me the box set, and it was there in my, my Christmas parcel pack. And so I'd seen it all before, and it came on, and I just moaned. I started moaning, saying, it's all right for McGregor, all that money, film crew, blah, 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 blah. And my mum just turned round and she said, "Look, you've always spoke about riding a bike, but you've never done it. You've always spoke about travel, but you've never done it." She was like, "Don't get to my stage where you face the end and you regret what you've not done in life." Yeah. And she just said, "Look after those that you love, but live your life." And she made me promise her. Well, she didn't make me promise then that I would do the trip, but I literally Googled on my laptop, how'd you get a motorbike license? Direct access came up. I was 31, 32. So I booked my direct access, went and did that. And by the time I passed it, Mum was now in the hospice. So I picked up my brand new GSX-R 600, got my leather outfit, rode to her hospice, walked in, shook the keys and said, "I've done it. I've passed my bike test." So she gave me a big hug, and she made me promise her that I would do my trip around the world. And then 5 days later, she lost her battle. So for me, that was my impetus. That was my drive, my driving factor. So whenever, once I was actually on the trip, when things got bad, that's all I thought about was, I've promised her. So when I did make that decision to come back, fucking hell, it was like a stake through the heart. I felt such a failure. And miraculously, I got the opportunity to go again. I was just offered a lifeline by a company. And that second chance, together with that promise and that drive that I had to honour my mom, that pushed me right through. And I tell you, that second opportunity, that second leg was an absolute breeze. There was hard times, obviously, but I loved every fucking second of it. Every single second that came my way. It's the mindset. It's that switch. When that goes, boom, you'll achieve anything.
The first one was terrifying. Now I'm starting to go, there's chance here to keep doing things and keep changing. It's almost like a drug. To see different things in life, to have a different experience when you wake up in the morning, see life changing, see that feeling every day. I'm not a potato couch man. I hate just sitting here watching television. Life, I always use that bad expression. You sleep when you're dead. See, when you're alive, go have life. Just you sleep when you're dead. You can deal with it then. Right now, live. Live it. Live to the minute you've got, because you don't know when your life's going to go. So don't wait for when you hit your middle age. Don't wait for that day you go over your certain point. Just go live it now. And that's what drives me with everything I do now. So, and moving forward in my life, that's what's driving me to it. I can't wait for the next day. It's too late. Time's too short. Go live it now.
Do you feel a responsibility? Because you've developed a following now. People look up to you. People get inspired by you, by what you're doing. Do you feel a responsibility there to act
Lately,
a certain way?
I have been feeling it probably in the last month and a half when I've been watching people's comments. Because I'm learning a responsibility to, and I know this makes it sound ironic, is honesty. Don't hide when you're down. Let them understand that you're not just, and I'm the worst nightmare with everybody in the house. I go, I'm great today, I'm great. But when I'm out with people, the responsibility to try and show truth and honesty. Because people expect it off you. They follow me because they want to understand how I'm coping with it. It's a strange one. I don't know how to deal with this. This is so new for me. I've never experienced this before. I've never experienced telling people my life story. And when I have a bad day or a good day it's so hard being so open. It must be the same for you because people understand who you are and your whole life story behind you. So, it's a different one, but I do feel it.
But it's also comforting, I think, for other people to see that you're going through those ups and downs and, you're articulating when you're having a shit time. You articulate that. You tell people when you're feeling great, you're being open about the fact that you're feeling great. Because as we said, other people will be fairly new in their journey, voyage into and through grief, and they might not yet realise it's okay to have a good day. So sometimes wake up and feel top of the world. Other days you're not. You're going to feel right at the bottom. Yeah.
There was two parts when I was in Europe and the lassies phoned me up. Sarah and Lorraine, who were doing the program, she went, we can't post this because it was such a heavy way I spoke. And I went, but that's how I'm feeling. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And if my one thing helps one person out of 10 people, if only was focused on one person, that's what it was for. It wasn't for the other 9 people. It was for that one person. So some days it's really, really heavy. Some days, but your body is punished. It's a hard, when you did Africa, it's a hard kick on you. Your body goes through a lot of punishment on it. Yeah. It's a lot of focus, a lot of determination.
Yeah.
People just think you ride. It's not. There's a lot of work in riding a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Very mindset. It's such a mindset.
I get that all the time. You're just sat on a bike riding. Yeah, you are, but there's a little bit more to it than that.
There's a lot more to it. Your mind's got so much focusing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, cheers to that one, Gordon. Next one, Danny Seaton's one of the average bikers in a cave.
Right.
Hello, both. Having met and spoken, right? Having met and spoken to George on a couple of occasions, I'm looking forward to this one. He's a great character doing amazing work for people who need help the most. First question. Did George find the personal direction and motivation he was after on his recent trip? Hopefully a very positive experience for him.
Hey, the first trip, so I'm assuming it's the Australian trip we're talking about.
I think he means your European one.
The European trip was the hardest trip, not the Australian one. Yeah, the Australian one I had a purpose. I had to place the ashes because I was saying my goodbyes.
Yeah.
The European trip was so hard for me from the time I left Barcelona because that was no longer a memory going. My book had shut and my completely new chapter had started and it was a blank page. So physically and emotionally it was harder. I'm feeling better from it now that I've got to the end, but it was one of the hardest challenges to do the last section of that trip. It was so hard. It was so hard to plan the day, because you don't just, when you're podcasting, you get up early in the morning, you build the bike up, you prep where you're going, you prep where you're going to stop, because you don't just stop on a bike and take photos. You pick routes where to come off, you need to plan that, you need to plan what to say, you need to have mission statements, you then have to do that, you have to do the footage, you then do 8-9 hours of a bike ride, you then have to go back to where you stopped, you need to download all that footage, you need to write a story of it, you then need to get it sent back so the team can produce it. It's mentally challenging because you're creating a whole new memory as you're doing this. Mm-hmm. So you're doing an average, and my average day was about 15 hours a day, just writing and doing all the processing. And it was comforting then to know I could achieve it, because you were starting a whole new life when you're on. You were starting with a blank page, and you were then creating new memories and new stories, and new life, knew who I was, what I was doing. Because this was about me now. This was about me. This was, I'm creating, this is all my memories. This is my new start. You know what I mean? So it was a blank canvas. There was nothing to gauge it against. That was harder.
Wow. Didn't think about that. Yeah, true.
That was the hardest trip for me. Physically and emotionally. It was the hardest trip for me. I didn't think it was going to be. It was fine until I hit Barcelona, and then poof. I was like, oh, shit. This is just me. There's no story to take with you. Because she hadn't done Monaco. She hadn't done Lake Como with me. She hadn't done the Alps with me. This was me now.
Yeah.
This was all me.
Again, was that guilt to a degree?
That's why I think it was there when I was in Frankfurt. I went up to, and I think it was Gaudi. I think it was in his National. It was in his chapel. I had to sit. There was chewed me up, and that's when they went, you can't post this. It was chewed me up, and I had to go speak to her and say, I need to move on now. I need to move. Don't mistake me from doing this, but I can't keep going through this. It's killing me. I need to find a way forward here, or I'm never going to get out of this. So, that was near the end. It was destroying me. I was mentally getting destroyed, and I had to physically go. I have to move forward. You'll be there. We're raising money. We're going to do it. But you're where you've got to be. I now need to be where I need to be. I need to take my life forward, and I need to take myself forward. But I need to allow people to understand there is a way to get through this. So, and I don't want to feel people go, oh, that was great. George says you could do it, and look at him. I want to show you can really do this. But you need to go through the depression with me to get to the other side. It's a big building block. And meeting somebody in your life to have somebody else in your life on it, to have different friends. You need to have, this has to happen. Life must change. And see the realization to understand that you've got to meet somebody in life because you can't live on your own. Nighttime kills you. The silence. Yeah. That's a toxin on its own. To talk to people about different journeys, different ventures, it's also a toxin because you're talking about something where you're trying to create different ways of life. So that was a big day for me that day where I actually sat down and I spent almost an hour just sitting there and just talking to her, saying, this must happen. I must change or I will never change. So this was the hardest trip I've probably done in my whole life, was that last trip. That was so intense on me. So intense. But
probably the most beneficial to you so far.
It changed my life. This one changed my life. Australia didn't. This changed my life.
Wow.
Because I then had a purpose. And it wasn't when I walked to the chapel. I went to sleep. And when I woke up and I started writing, I know this sounds stupid. It was like the world just started to open up going, right, you're going to start living that life. You start doing it. Let's just start living it. And I started to feel myself going through the journey changing. And that's how I felt it. This was the most hardest. Yeah.
Healing. Yeah.
Healing. It's the hardest thing to do is heal. Because you need to accept healing.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I looked after her whole life. And then you realize you couldn't save her at the end and then she dies. And that's a guilt on its own. And then I realized that you need to move forward. You're going to become the statistic. And she would butch you pillar to post if you did that. So you need to move on and take. She would. And she always said to me, George, you get 1 year to grieve. You need to find somebody in your life to move forward with. You need to move forward in life. She gave me 1 year to grieve. And she says, after you won, because she knows I need people in my life. She says, you need to find somebody who will be like me or better, but be with you in your life. You need to now bring somebody into your life. But you only get 1 year to grieve. You're not like she said the same with Lorraine, she said the same with Sarah. You get 1 year to grieve and that's it. So I pushed it further on the processing. So I'm now moving forward in my life. I'm doing what she wanted, but it's a hard one when you still feel guilt. And I'm now got to the point I can control that, where that chat was probably the most important one I could ever have had, to sit there and say, I'm doing it. I need to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to change my life. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. So this was the hardest trip. And
second question from You take, mate. You vocalize it however you need. Take as long as you need. Second question from Danny. Has George found a way to fit into the tiny scooter without taking the roof off to be able to safely do the charity run on it before said scooter is raffled off? Cheers and hope to see you both soon.
Yes. I bought a C1 BMW, a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
And to get me in it, you need to put me with a tin of Vaseline and a crowbar. It's got a wee roof on it and everything else. And it was one of those I went, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it right up the country, raise money, not an issue. And then I bought it and I got in it and I couldn't get in it. Yeah, it's, yeah, I can get in it with a tin of Vaseline. Aye, very good. Very funny. Oh, aye. But I'm going up to a concert next weekend. We're going to start raffling the bike off for a good cause.
So you've
as far
given
as I'm
up
going
on
to say,
that.
that's as far as it goes. It is not a good sight. It's not a pretty sight, but I'm just going to go with it. I left my house one day to test ride it, and I put a helmet on and everything so nobody would see me. And I went, what are you doing, you idiot? You just left your bloody driveway. They know where you live. Oh, yeah.
Everyone's like, all right, George. Hi, George. How are you, George?
That's what it looked like. Going, oh, God almighty. Yeah.
So is that chapter over and done with then, the scooter? Is it definitely going?
No.
Or,
there's busy getting wrapped. Is to go. Do you remember back in the day when you were kids, you had the wee car that was red at the bottom, yellow roof? The wee plastic cars that used to getting wrapped to look like that.
Brilliant.
So we're going to do that. I'm going to go riding it. Next weekend, we're up to a show. And we're going to put it there. We're going to raffle it. There's a different places we're going to go with the bike. And like people see it and just keep raffling it off. It's on the GG webpage where we've got for the raffles. It could be the raffle. Trust me, nobody's going to buy this raffle because they want to own this bike. They're doing it because for the cause. Trust me.
Gotcha.
Whoever says they want it, they're lying. And it's for the cause and the cause only. And there's no money alternative, people. You win it,
I'll
you
win
keep
this
it.
bloody raffle.
Oh my God, it was one of those. I went, no, how could I?
Oh, I've got to buy a ticket now.
Oh, yeah, well, I hope you win it.
Do you get the tickets on the website?
On the webpage, you can go onto the page that tells you to do it, and then we've got tickets as well. We'll sell private. So the team's getting all set up, so it's all set. I've got a good team to work on this with me.
Cool. Nice one. Next one, Dave Ramsey. How you doing, Dave? Evening both. I've not met George, but I've walked in his shoes. I'm a bit farther along the road than George, Big Gordon and Craig. You'll get better at coping with grief and finding the energy to deal with life. My question, are you a masochist? Have you not heard light is right? What's the total weight of your riding setup? Pie or sausage roll? And can I come and meet you once you're back from Barcelona? So why have you gone with a big heavy bike? He's like Dave's one of these lightweight bike maniacs.
Well, just for those lightweight maniacs, love you to bits and thank you very much. The best bike I think you could ever ride is a GS. And it's the GS 1250. I'm 6 year old. It's built for me. I don't overpower it. It's a heavy bike with all the gear on it, including me. It's about 480 kgs. The bike with its weight. So I wouldn't ride any other bike. It's the bike I use is because that was the last bike she ever sat on. She didn't ride that bike, but she sat on it with me. I think she went once pillion on it. But it was the last one I owned that she'd ever sat on. So that's why Helen never went. It is just a bike. At the end of the day, it's my happy bike. It's the one I have done so much on. It's done Europe twice. It's done Australia. It's going to do Africa. Yeah. And I'm happy to meet you for a coffee or a cup of tea and show you how great a BMW Boxer engine is. The best in the planet. So I'm just letting you know.
I think Dave was a KTM maniac, I think.
Well, there you go. That just answers it. KTMs are good bikes. But, they're lighter bikes, but I don't know. I like shaft-driven bikes. Shaft-driven and Boxer engines. It's far better bikes to ride.
I've got to admit,
Hugh McGregor can't be wrong.
I got to admit, I prefer riding a KTM. I've always said that. The KTM is just, for me personally, a much more engaging riding experience. But I will own the GS because the ownership experience is just second to none.
Do you know you could be an idiot on that bike and everything on that controllers make you ride good. The bike helps you to ride good. And that's probably why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll always ride it. I will always ride it.
I'm quite nervous because on our next tour with I own a touring business, and on our next tour, which is next Monday, we're doing like the Ardennes, like Belgium, France, Germany, all around there.
Oh, wow.
And I'm getting KTM are giving me their 1390 Super Adventure S, the Evo one, the auto, their auto.
Yes.
And I'm quite nervous because a good mate of mine took one out last week when his 1290 was in having a service. The dealership gave him the same bike. They gave him the 1390 Evo. And he was just like, oh my God, this thing is fantastic. So my GS, I've got a 1300, but that's coming up to 48,000 miles. So it's like, I'm gonna be either swapping it for another 1300, or part of me is going, oh yeah, is this KTM going to be something special?
I think you're going to prefer it to the 13. I've got a 13 as well, but the problem is because it's a tube bike, it's a very rigid bike. I find the old bikes, it was more flexing. I find the 1250 a nicer ride.
See, I'm the opposite actually. I like a real firm ride, and I find that's probably why the 1300. It's rigid. It's got that. Yeah, it's got a stiffer frame, and it's got a firmer rear shock because it's got the two. I think it's.
That's why I like the 1250. The frame flexes a lot, and it's a much soft. See when you're carrying all your gear, the bike flexes much softer on the ride. With a 13, it sits.
Yeah, it's more dynamic. I find the 13. I like it. I like the 13. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what this 1390 is going to be like.
Watch this space.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got the bollocks to actually own one though. It's all well and good having a press bike. Anything happens, back to them. You sort that out. When it's your own bike, it's like, got to go through that whole rigmarole, don't you?
The whole rigmarole. Yeah. It's just a box of feel. It's just to feel that shudder in it. It's just really good.
It's agricultural though. Like I took my missus had to.
Everybody calls it a tractor. Graham from Steelworks keeps going, George, you just drive a tractor.
Yeah. I call it a tractor. Yeah.
There you go.
My wife had to take her car into the garage today because she's having some issues with the coolant on it. So I had to go and pick her up on the bike. So it's only down the road. It's not far. It's literally about 10 miles down the road. And I didn't bother putting my earplugs in. So I was riding the bike for the first time without my earplugs in. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this thing is like a bag of nails. Sounds like someone's got a tin. Oh, man.
13's not quiet. I can assure you that one. It's not a quiet bike.
And I had one of the first 13s in the country. And like they are beautifully smooth now compared to this. This thing is really agricultural. So oof. Anyway, never mind. Dave's got another bit of his question. He said, pie or sausage roll?
Sausage roll. I'm a sausage roll man. Because you get to peel the pastry off the sausage and you get to chew the sausage at the end. Don't look at me like that. You do that because then you have the pastry and then you have the sausage
roll like that, George.
Yeah, you do. Oh, I peel the pastry off and then I chew the sausage. My cup of tea at the end is like brilliant. That's why I like the sausage
psychopath.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah.
What sauce? Red or brown? With a sausage roll.
Got to have brown.
Yeah, there we go. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, got to have brown. Yeah, got to have brown. It's like with chips, you need mayonnaise, not ketchup. You need mayonnaise with chips.
Game changer meal, isn't it? Game changer.
Oh, what's a good? Somebody gave me that. See, I've had it. I am so mayonnaise.
I think that's a Yank thing, isn't it? I think it's the Americans that did that.
Oh, I'll stop having it then.
I think they introduced us. Could be wrong. Maybe it was the French. I don't know.
No, I like it. I'll go with the French one. I'll go with the French
Dave, thank you very much. Cheers for the question, pal. Next one, Jack Greenhaw. How you doing, Jack? Evening, gents. Glad to be part of the clan. Long awaited, I must say. Well, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining, Jack. Quick question, re the potential future of retro style bikes. Looking around the current market, there is lots of retro style bikes out there. Not a bad thing for me personally. I like them. However, I want to know what you guys think this could do to the potential future second-hand market of these bikes. As the older generation inevitably falls away, will the younger generation be interested in bikes looking like they are from the 80s and 90s? Cheers, guys. Ride safe.
That's a very hard one. We like that generation because it's our generation of bikes.
Yeah. But then people also like the 60s, 70s style, don't they?
Yeah.
Not everyone,
I think
but some do.
because a bike's a two-wheeler, there's not much you can do to a bike to change. I think when you get older, you'll always go back to the old style bike. There's just something, the nostalgia of an old classic. New bikes, I'm glad they do it because they're more reliable and they come with better gearing, better safety features on it. Yeah, I think retro's becoming far. You must see it now. There's more and more of them becoming more popular, as if they've gone back in design. Just a lot of features in it. So yeah, I think they'll stick to it. I think the days of the big super bikes are a thing of the past.
I don't. I think sports bikes are coming back. I think they're coming back, man. I really do.
I think. Well, maybe it's the group I'm with. A lot of the guys I'm with they're all going into the older style bikes.
Aye.
I just see that lady on a bike, if you ain't at the right speed and that just press your hands on the bars all the time. It's like so uncomfortable to ride. So uncomfortable. But it's probably on the wrong height for a sport bike.
Yeah. But a lot of us got into bikes because of sport bikes. You know, for me, I saw the likes of Barry Sheen and that when I was growing up. And people I didn't even know who they were. They were on
the
like
Katana was mine.
I'd just see folk in one-piece leathers careering around a circuit,
I know that,
racing.
right.
No real idea who they were. I was aware of Barry Sheen, but motorbikes meant sports bikes to me, and therefore, whenever I thought about bikes, I want one of them. Jigsaw, sports bike. Bang. There we go.
What was your favourite bike? What was your first bike that you liked?
J6R. My first bike was a J6R 600, and then
that was the one.
To the 1000.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. That was. I took the Jigsaw Thou on my world trip, and then came back. Had a Tuono for a little bit, and then found adventure bikes. And
see,
that was
mine.
it.
And please don't go for me for my one. Mine was because of Top Gun.
Oh yeah,
the GPZ
slab.
I happen to like it, so I'll just go with it. But that's what really drew me in because you got a real experience of it. So that was the first bike I went, oh, I like that. That was probably my first one. Not the movie, but I liked the bike.
See, the reason I think sports bikes are having a bit of a rebirth at the moment is there's definitely a younger crowd now coming into biking. And by younger, I'm talking mid-20s to sort of maybe late 20s, early 30s. If you look on social media, there is a lot of youngsters coming in. And I think a lot of people in that age bracket, there's not many of them will be focusing, looking at a GS and going, that's the bike for me. Some
I
might,
agree.
but they're looking at other stuff. And sports bikes are starting to sell, particularly second-hand ones, because the guy I had on last week's podcast, Ryan, he started up a dealership down in there called Moto Mafia, which deals particularly in high quality second-hand bikes. And he's saying he's seeing a massive market in sports bikes again, like R1s.
You're not
and things
finding
like that.
it, and I'm agreeing with you, but you're not finding it that, and it's a hard one to gauge it because the young generation are, but see when they get to the mid-30s, they'll start swinging over. Of
course.
Because you get to a point, you want to keep riding, but you just, this is hard work in the morning to get in your gear for it. So, it's but
you're going to have that. You're going to have those early 5 years or so on the sports bike where you don't really know any different. You're just like, holy shit, I'm on a motorbike. And
that's what it is.
Yeah. You've got that market where, you think motorbike, it's a sports bike. You're going to have them. I think you'll always have them. As long as you've got TT and things like that going, there's going to be a group of people that go, I want one of them. They might get one and go, oh, this is bloody uncomfortable. This isn't the bike for me. But, I think they always need to be there. They've always got to exist.
I think I sat in a GPZ 750 Scott. I had one, the turbo.
Uh-huh.
I drove up the street, turned around and drove straight back. Nope, never again. Never in my life again. That is so old school. That's like a widowmaker in the making. I was like, no, not happening. It's suicide. It's just mental. When it kicks in, it's like, all right, we're here. It's like, you're on and you're away.
Yeah, off you go. Yeah. Sounds like an old two-stroke almost, doesn't it? Jesus.
Oh, I know. So, yeah, I agree with you maybe in the younger generation, but I'd say the older generation will go back to the older classics.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right, next one. Andy. Evening, gents. Hope you have a great chat. A couple of questions, if I may. George, your devotion to your lost loved one is inspiring, and everyone's lost and response is unique. So thank you for sharing yours. My question is, how do you wish your own memory to be remembered when your time on this planet ends? Ooh, wow, that's a good one.
A man that didn't live in grievance, a man that spent his life to help other people. That's it.
I'd say you're doing that now. Yeah, good man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Start based on what you can do to help other people in life. If your grievance is only based around you, then it will always be you. If your grievance is turned to positive to help others, then to me, that's it. I want people to know me for what I've done for other people in life, not what I've done for myself.
Yeah.
Myself, I can do behind doors.
Good man. Can't say anything more to that, pal.
No.
Final question for both of you, if I may. Having chosen to take on a life-changing challenge in memory of a loved one, how do you think your life would have been without the loss of your loved one and the challenge you undertook? Have a great chat. Another good question, Andy. Ooh. Wow. Wow.
How would my life have been if I hadn't lost her?
Yeah.
I was always a traveller, as I like travelling the world. Well, I don't know the answer to that one. Because beforehand, my life was set on working hard to earn money to live a lifestyle, because that's what you work for. And what I learned was in the last 5 days in that hospice was the only thing that mattered was not the fancy bags or the fancy watches or the fancy shoes or any shit like that. It was the people who were in the room at that given time that mattered in your life. And it was at that time in life I fully realized that no money, no value was more important than life itself. So I changed my whole focus in life, not to chase money, to give it away to people that need it. So, yeah, I'd have been the average person going out to try and have the better house, the better life, because that's what you want for your whole life. And then you realize life passed you. So, yeah, because that's the life I was living. That's the life we did. We saw lovely places, but you worked all day to have a life that wasn't real, because we don't own this. You don't own this house. When you pass, somebody else takes this house. You don't own your bikes. When you go, somebody else owns it. But it's in your mindset, you think you own everything. So, that's a hard one, by the way.
It is.
That's a brutal one. That's actually a really brutal one, that one.
I think I'm very similar to you in that sense, in that, you know, I was a way to say I was perfectly happy in life, but I wasn't. I was bored. I was bored in life at that point when all that happened. I was very much thinking to myself, is this it? There's got to be more. But I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. It was like, I feel like there's more to me. There's more to life. Life has something more in store for me than what this is. And then, you know, what happened, and it changed my life and sent me on a course. And, you know,
if you had told me now, I'd have been spending my life riding a motorbike all over the world, that I went, not a hope in hell, not a hope.
Yeah.
I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah.
Now, it's purpose in life. And you get to meet people. And it's allowing me to, and it says I'm moving on in my life. I'm trying to move on and create something different. So I'm having to move on in my life. I won't do that anymore else. I won't become the person I was.
Yeah. Do you find yourself ever slipping back into the old mentality? Because I very much push and promote this live your life ethos. You know, those words my mum said to me, look after those that you love, but live your life. And I try to live my life by that. But sometimes I do find myself falling back into my old ways where, you know, like my life is all about motorcycle tours, filming, editing, podcast, editing, socials, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's very easy to lose track of what about life, you know, like what about actual life, rather than just all of that. Because my passion and my love is what I do for a living, but I still have a marriage, I still have friends, you know.
It's been one of my biggest fears, that you get trapped in thinking, and a lot of my friends have said it, because the last couple of months I've ran my body to the limit. I've pushed myself so far that your body breaks down. That you can't just focus on one thing. You need to stop, step back. And I've been fortunate enough to I'm speaking to another person now who gives me the opportunity to speak to someone now, because I'm learning to live in isolation. So I'm changing my life now, and I'm having to refocus to that now. And realise there's more people in life than just myself. But I'll never stop what I'm doing. I need to learn how to balance it correctly between life and charity. So it's making sure you balance it, that you don't become a statistic. So that's a very hard one to do, because I still need to have a life whilst I'm doing this. And the first year I wasn't. I was 9 million. I was doing 1 million mile an hour, and I was burning myself out in a circle. So Lee and Sarah have been a massive change to my life, because they work with me as a team, as part of the GG. So it allows me to change it. I've got to speak to other people. I've got to meet somebody now who I'm getting a chance to speak to and grow and develop from, and give me a chance in life to say there's something better in life where I don't have to live in depression all the time. Because people forget, when you all work together and everybody goes home at night, you're on your own. The whole world just closes off on you. It doesn't matter what's happening. The world closes, and then it kicks in again. And see that kick in at night when you're on your own, that's more torture than it is than being all day with people. So I'm changing my life on purpose to allow my life to have a life and go and develop. That's so, and I want to do that, but not lose. And again, as I'm feeling guilty, not losing the memory of Gaynor, what we're trying to do, what she did for people, what she did for me, and what I can do using that memory to help people in life for an opportunity to go to the next stage. It's a very hard one to balance. It's so bloody hard without feeling guilt in this process, because guilt's the biggest killer. The biggest.
Don't let it
killer.
consume you. That
So,
guilt.
And then you get stuck in your work because you try not to think about it. So
Yeah. That's very much how I deal with things, by just throwing myself into it, whatever it is. It's just you go all in.
Well, the lassies knew, because if they came to the house in the morning and half the sugar was missing in the teapot, they knew I'd been drinking all night. So they knew I had ideas. I've been thinking all through the night. So that's how I do it. So that's how I'm doing it. So I'm now moving forward in my life, and I'm trying to develop my life and grow my life in this process, whilst I keep this charity going to the next stage, and not losing focus on what I need to do in life and destroy myself in the process.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Nothing wrong with that. No, absolutely, 100%. Nothing wrong with that, pal. Cheers to that one, Andy. Last one on Patreon. Adam Nunn. How you doing, Adam? Evening to you both. Having lost my mum to cancer back in June 1989, when she was only 48, that left my dad, my 70-year-old brother, and my 20-year-old me in various states of personal grief, which was, at times, difficult to manage, despite all of us doing our best to deal with it, support each other, and continue living in what passed for normality. Fast forward to today, and through Bruce, his podcast, channel, and tours, and guests like Craig, Gordon, and now George, I just wanted to say a huge thank you. The positive outcome... Sorry, that's choking me up. The positive outcome this combination has had on me, and no doubt everyone else moving forward. I'm really looking forward to this episode, but I'm crap at thinking of suitable question. So I'll just wish you all the best, guys, and thank you. Adam, cheers, pal.
Well, that's an amazing one. You've made a difference to somebody's life there.
Yeah.
This one podcast has done something in somebody's life, and that's you. And that's what you've done. There's your answer to that one. Only you've done
Adam,
that.
you're a prick. You got me greeting again on my podcast.
But you've done that. Look what you've done for him. He's tuned in to do this. And it's the story that you've given. It's the questions you've raised.
But it's everybody though. It's you. It's everyone that's ever come on the podcast or interacted.
Yeah,
you know, it's
but without
people
you,
just being
that
honest.
you've gone through,
and sharing.
this wouldn't be here. So it's you.
Yeah. I
That's
don't
what
take
you've
a
done
compliment well, George.
Well, you're going to have to. I'm sorry. But this is, if it wasn't for you going through it, we wouldn't be sitting here today. So this is on you. So well done. I mean it. You've given him an inspiration, and that's an amazing one. That was a touching one, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Cheers, Adam. You're a prick, but thank you. Right, what else do we have here? We'll go across onto Instagram. Average Bikers in a Cave again. Ask George about his snug fit BMW and tell him not to forget us boys now he has hit the big time on Bru Time. See you guys soon, Darren. So Darren's asking about the C1 as well.
Darren's an amazing guy. I'm going to be sitting with him a lot when I'm planning the African trip, but he's had his own life stories, and it's amazing listening to him. And they did the steelworks they do the end of the month. They go down there and they do a podcast from it. Yeah, he's hilarious. He's really a good team.
He's a good boy, isn't he, Darren? Yeah, I've had them on the podcast quite a few times.
Yeah,
him and Ian.
he's really good.
And, good
and
lads.
I blame him for the C1. He should be on the bloody thing, not me. Quite happy for that.
Get him on it. That would be fun.
Darren, I'm telling you, it's a challenge. You go on it with me. There you go. Challenge.
Next one, 78 Outlaw. How you doing, John? Ask George if he appreciates his personal security detail when Marine One GS lands. Sending love from the odd ones. So go on. What's that all about?
That's John Beckett. He's an absolute he keeps taking the mickey at me because he's going, you've gone, because when he first knew me, I was just biking. He's going, you're becoming top pack, those secret forces. So whenever I go in, they all stand around me as if they're all protecting me. He's a cheeky bugger. He does all the time. I walk and he's got his hand in, he's going, he's in, he's coming in. I'm going to kill him. John, I'm telling you, he's one of a kind, Tim. John Becker.
He's going to come on the podcast.
He's an amazing rider. He rides everywhere as well. He just rides non-stop. Yeah,
right.
Massive.
He's coming on. I managed to get him to commit. He's going to come on at some point.
He's good. Cheeky bugger.
Right, last one. This is over on Facebook. This is Nathan Turner. Good day, both. Keep up with the great podcast, Bruce. Thank you, Nathan. Cheers. What celebrity from present or past would you like to take on a ride? And Nathan is from Saskatoon, Canada. Ooh, celebrity take on a ride.
Well, that's a very hard one to do.
It's easy for me. Easy.
Who's yours?
Billy Connolly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just what a blast that would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's a good one. He's actually a bloody. I remember he did a course at 66.
Yeah.
See, I like the Kitchen Boys.
Who's that?
The two bikers.
The hairy bikers.
The hairy bikers. I think they would just be a bag of laughs.
Yeah.
I think you would just have a laugh and a ball with them. Do you know, actually, I'd like to take Gordon Ramsay. I think he's got a funny side to him.
Uh-huh.
When you watch him on the tour buses.
Yeah.
Him and Gino, is it Gino?
Gino and there was the other one, the French one.
Yeah, they're good, but they're no bikers. But he'd be quite funny. But I'd say the hairy bikers.
Right. So we'll have Billy Connolly for the laughs and the hairy bikers. Well, one of them anyway, sadly. But they'd keep us fed. He'd keep us fed.
Past or present, they said. Past or present.
Absolutely did. Yeah, you're right. You did. I didn't think about past, actually. Billy Connolly's still with us, isn't he?
Billy Connolly's, he's still with us. He's not there, but he's there with us.
Yeah. I was really
he did his
privileged.
rides. They were amazing.
Yeah. He did Australia, New Zealand, America.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Always in a trike. Always on a trike.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I was really fortunate. My wife and I, we went to Billy Connolly's last stand-up show at, was it the Apollo, I think, up in London. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
I saw him.
He was just slow,
10
but he
years
was
ago.
still, yeah.
He's one of the best comedians. Because what's amazing, you're going to a joke and he'll move to another joke, another.
Aye.
But he'll come back to where he started. He doesn't forget where he started. He always goes back. He's an amazing, amazing comedian. And it was off the cuff, constant.
Yeah. And it all just felt so personal, didn't it? Because it was like, a lot of the comedians that I'd seen up to that point, it was almost like manufactured. It was gags, it was set up and stuff. He just seemed to be telling you stories of his life, and it just had you in stitches. But I've met...
But that was back in Glasgow. That was just him.
Aye. I'm from the northeast of Scotland originally, like up near Peterhead, Fraserburgh. But I went to uni. I went to uni at Strathclyde in Glasgow. So I spent sort of from 18 to 24, 25 living in Glasgow, and I worked as a bouncer there for years, all through uni. And I just remember meeting Glaswegians. It was like, they're all fucking Billy Connolly. Every single one of them was like a world-class comedian. Read your shopping list and have you in stitches, They were just funny people. Really funny. Dude, we've done all the questions.
No, that's been amazing. I've had a brilliant night. Thank you very much.
Me too, man. It's been a pleasure to actually get around and chat to you, because I think you made contact with me, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And then you went off and did your trip and stuff, and everyone was always like, you've got to get George on. You've got to get George on. So thank you for
no, thank you for having me on. I mean that. Thank you. And at least let me get the word out of what we're doing.
Yeah, no, pleasure, man. And honestly, if I can help
with
with
tag you in to whatever I'm doing, so I appreciate that. That means a big one to me.
Anytime at all, and I'll share it across my platforms as well. Happy.
All I'm
happy
asking for GG is follow. The more followers I get, the more I can actually process it bigger. So follows is the biggest thing for me. The more I can get to subscribe is a big one for me. So I can just push the channel bigger, and that raises more money into to keep. With all the money we'll get from this, we're just pushing the charity.
Yeah, absolutely. And in turn, as you grow, that attracts more corporate help.
Yes,
which in turn will help out all the causes.
And it can help the charity.
So, folks, I always talk about this. I always say this now at the end of the podcast. Sharing, liking and sharing, commenting, that sort of stuff. Particularly sharing at the moment. The algorithms seem to love the fact that you share a bit of content. So if you enjoy the podcast, please share it. If you like what George is doing, get over onto his socials and share his socials across your platforms. Share his website across your platforms, however you can. That really does help massively. Tell your mates about it. Tell your family about it. Just spread the word. And that's how we can get things going and start helping in any way that we can. If you can't afford it financially, invest in your time to share it amongst your
that's topic.
Your social circles. There you go. Dude, is there anything we've not covered that you
you've done everything. Hopefully I'll meet up with you when I come back from Africa and we can talk about how the journey actually went.
Mate, I would love to chat to you about that. I can't wait to hear all about it in fall. Are you going to be documenting it on like YouTube or just on socials?
Documenting the whole thing on the webpage, YouTube, Instagram. We do the whole usual. I do it. It'll be like every third day this time because it'll be a lot more intense. Because it's almost 3 months the trip's going to take.
Wow.
So it's a big trip. It's a massive mammoth trip.
Yeah, that's graft. Wow, fair play to you.
So awesome. I'll finish in a game reserve. I'll be riding my bike into a game reserve. That's going to be the ultimate finish for me. It's the odds I've never been able to take my bike on a game reserve and just finish out in the reserve on the bike.
Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant. That's going to be epic. Epic.
Going to be epic.
Folks, again, check out the links down below for the website, for all the socials. Make sure you give them a like, a follow, subscribe, all that jazz. If anyone wants to get in touch with you, George, what's the best way for people to do that?
You can get them a messenger on GG. So if they just go into messenger GG on 2 wheels, or they just email me, george@ggon2wheels.com. Send me a message. But you'll get me. We've got contacts on the webpage where you can just send us a message. We've got contacts on Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and on the Facebook. Get us anywhere you want. Also, if you want to apply for help in the Central Belt of Scotland, there's an application form on the webpage. Go on it, fill in, if we can help you. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about me riding, it's who we're helping. So if you know somebody that needs help and there's something we could possibly do, send us the stuff. Let's take a look at it and see if we can help them, then we will.
George, you're a special man, mate. I'm glad there's people like you out there. Thanks for
I
doing what you're
appreciate
doing.
Me and my team are with me on it. So,
Well, thank you to you and your team. Folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Yeah, what more can I say? Look after those that you love. Get on out there.
amen.
Keep doing what you're doing and live your life.
Thank you.
I mucked up the ending again.